Welcome to part 1 of our 2-part instructional series, How to Change a Light Bulb. In this series, we will demonstrate in only 4 easy steps how to bring light back into your home after the unthinkable happens and your bulb goes out. Before we begin, we know that this is a trying time in your life, and it might be tempting to smash the bulb in irritation, but it's inadvisable. Not only will it add an extra step to an already complicated process, but it's just bad form. Before we get to the actual process of changing a light bulb, we must first determine whether the problem is with the bulb itself or outside influences. It's estimated that almost a dozen light bulbs a year are needlessly cast aside due to a lack of diligence. Step 1. Think back. Did you remember to pay your electricity bill this month? Have there been an unusual number of tornadoes or drunk drivers in your neighborhood that may have brought down a power line? Are you by chance living in a tent or abandoned bus? If any of these ring a bell, the fault may not be with your light, you may in fact simply not have power. If none of these apply to your situation, move on to Step 2. Step 2. Check to see if your light source is attached to anything. In today's crazy, fast-paced society, many of us take the little things for granted, such as a properly plugged-in power cord, for example. Ensure that you haven't fallen into this common trap before moving on to Step 3. Step 3. Find the switch which controls your light, and make sure that it's been flipped into the on position. If you're unsure whether or not your light switch is in the on position, ask yourself this: is my light on? If the answer is no, then reverse the switch's position and see if that solves your issue. Step 4. Have you made sure that your light is turned on? Did it work? Are you sure? Check again. Sometimes those things stick. Still nothing? Well, that's it for this week's episode of Everyday Instructionals. Remember to check back next week for part 2 of our 2-part instructional series, where we'll make sure you know how to turn that light on, as well as show you how to get that pesky bulb out of its socket if it comes to that. And until next time, we hope you have an informative day. Everyday life can be confusing, leaving you scratching your head. Luckily, we can simplify it with only 3 easy steps. Step 1. Give us a like. Step 2. Subscribe. Step 3. Come back next week for more Everyday Instructionals.